Hey, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to start using my new Kindle. I'm so excited. I've never owned a Kindle before, and here's me unboxing it, which I post on my other social media. We have some very exciting bookish mail to open up today. When I started Book Talk in October, I knew eventually I would want a Kindle, but sometimes I go in and out of what I'm doing, activities, hobbies. My husband and I decided to wait until the summer Prime Day of this year, and if I was still reading, still active, we would consider a Kindle. That is what's in this box today, except my husband bought it when I wasn't here, and I told him to just get whichever one he felt like getting. So the two main options for us were either the Oasis and the Scribe. The main reason is we wanted something that was bigger than our typical iPhones, so those two have some of the bigger screens, so that's what we had decided together, but I don't know which one's in here, so let's see. Okay, we have a brand new Kindle Scribe, and I'm so excited. I saw one of my coworkers using this, and I thought it was so cool, so I was hoping it would be this one, so let's open it up. Okay, so we have the Kindle Scribe. It is really big, so I'm really excited about that because I've been reading all my ebooks on my phone, and this is definitely bigger. And then the little Kindle Scribe pen and a charger. Let me know what some of your favorite Kindle recommendations are because I definitely want to start filling this up. Like I said in the unboxing, this wasn't, something on a whim or anything. I'm really excited about this. It is definitely so big. Just look at how big it is compared to my head. And I've been reading all of my ebooks on my phone, so I'm so excited to have this. I know not everybody likes the bigger Kindles and carrying it around, so I'm going to show you over the next week of just what it's like to have a Kindle Scribe. There are a few things that I have already done with this. So the first thing that I did was I took advantage of Amazon First Reads. If you haven't heard about Amazon's First Reads program yet, I recently learned about it, so I'm by no means an expert, but I thought I would just show it here. I just Googled Amazon First Reads program. I am a Prime member, and I think that's one of the reasons that I have access to this. So if you're not a Prime member, I don't think this is applicable. However, if you are a Kindle Unlimited member, I think with Prime, then you get all of these books included with Kindle Unlimited the next month. For the month of July, we're able to choose 2 books, and I thought the selection was interesting. I wanted to check out The Hanging City first, but after reading it, I was like, wow, I've read a lot of fantasy lately. I don't really know if this is going to be the exact vibe for me, but it was still cool to see the diversity of books that they had. So I went back and I decided to look at What Never Happened, which is a thriller. I love thrillers, but I haven't really read any lately. So we already had an opportunity to get a fantasy or a thriller book, and I decided that this one looked good. So I went ahead and clicked the read for free button, and it is already on my Kindle. I have checked that. Since July decided to give us 2 free books a month early, I'm guessing because it was Prime Day earlier this month, so they wanted to do something special, kind of encourage maybe a Kindle purchase for new people. Again, I feel like not as many people know about this, so I don't know if this was a driving decision, but I decided to check out the other thriller that was on the list, To Die For, and I decided that was going to be the second book that I went with. So I got 2 thrillers, but I haven't read thrillers in quite a while, so I'm actually excited to have 2 just ready to go. The second thing I did was I then transferred some NetGalley books to my Kindle, which was a process, but definitely just follow the NetGalley instructions. They were easy enough to follow. So that's all I've done for day 1 so far. I do feel like I have to press pretty hard with the pen to get it to work right now, and I don't know if that's a user error or a settings deal. Not 100% sure, so that's something that I'm definitely going to learn and give feedback on, seeing how it works. And now I think, not 100% sure, but I feel like I'm going to try to read my first book on here, which is going to be Health Finder, which is an arc that I have due. So I really want to read that and see how it goes, because I usually read all my NetGalley arcs on my phone, and I feel like it takes forever. I'm gonna open Hellfinder here so we can see just how long it actually is, because I feel like on my phone it would be super long. There's Hellfinder. I'm not 100% sure how this works. It looks like I can add sticky notes, hide something. I just want to know how many pages it is. Okay, there's a little percentage right there. I'm trying to see if how I can see my progress just because I'm curious. The pen is not helping me see my progress. So this is how I'm trying to figure out how long it is, and maybe there's a better way. Oh my gosh, that's not real. No way. I'm so sorry. Okay, I think I just don't know how to use this. I really think I just don't know how to use this. Because it says on here, this has to be wrong. It says that it's, do you see that? Do you see how it says 3,000 something? That cannot be accurate. That cannot be accurate. Oh, it just says it says LOC. I don't know what LOC means, okay? So we're learning. Okay, so if we're just on page 1 of this book, it says LOC 69. I go to the next page, okay, it says LOC 83. I don't exactly know how that converts. I feel like that's gonna have to be something I learn in terms of the progress and everything. Because again, I just wanna know how many pages it is. This is definitely gonna have to be something that is user error. I will already say, just at least looking at the size of the text, this is so much better already than reading on my phone. So I'm really excited about that. But not being able to see the pages, I don't know. I'm someone that likes to check on their progress quite a bit. I really don't know how it's gonna go, and so I'll let you know. Because I can't Google it right now while I'm recording, I'm gonna put how many pages Hellfinder actually is here, and I'm probably gonna be like, oh my gosh, you were freaking out over nothing. But I definitely was freaking out looking at this. So I wonder if it's just because it's a NetGalley book that I'm having issues, or if all the books I read are gonna be like that. I'm not 100% sure. And then I am a big dark mode girly. Feel like I'm going to try this on dark mode, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to like it on dark mode. But turning it on dark mode was obviously a lot easier than finding out how many pages it is. All right, so I don't know what I did, but I got to the main toolbar and it says that I have 8 minutes left of the chapter and I'm at 2%. Maybe I'm getting closer to finding page links. I don't know. That's gonna be something interesting. As we saw earlier, I did already choose my Amazon First Reads for this month. So I'm going to open up What Never Happened and I am going to see if that shows me page numbers, because again, maybe it's something with NetGalley as to why I can't see the page numbers. Okay, so for What Never Happened, which is the next book, again, I don't know how well we're gonna see that, but there are page numbers here now. So that LOC deal might just be because it's a NetGalley arc. So that'll definitely have to be something I keep in mind. And I know a lot of people say that people read faster on their Kindles. So I feel like I'm just gonna have to see how it goes. But I am excited to have these books queued up. I do have to read Hellfinder, I think somewhat fast, because I think I have to get the review in by August 1st, and I'm really trying to be good on my NetGalley. This might be just reading along with Hellfinder quite a bit. I might not get to the other books. I do have another NetGalley arc due in August. Unexpecting is the title of it. So I know I have to kind of get to 2. So we're just gonna see how fast I can get through those, but happy day 1 of the Kindle Scribe. Okay, good morning. It's day 2 with the Kindle. Now, I do want to preface this by saying I read no instructions before messing with this Kindle at all. Absolutely none. So because I didn't read the instructions, I probably have some obvious silly questions that if I read the instructions, I could figure out. This screen, it changes between different images. It's not that bright. Is the screen supposed to shut off? Is that a setting? I don't know. But the first book that I am reading is Hellfinder, and I'm already 17% of the way through Hellfinder between last night and filming this morning. And I feel like that's pretty quick for me. Whenever I start an ebook, I feel like when I first start an ebook, I usually get to 5% and then I stop, but I'm at 17% for this book. However, it's also a book that's really piquing my interest. I've got sucked in very quickly to this book. I think it's really good so far. So I don't know if it's just because this happens to be the first book on my Kindle, but it's a high quality book. Not 100% sure. One other thing that I really want to do with the Kindle Scribe is I do want to utilize the writing and the notes, because I have post-it notes all over my desk that I'm looking at right now. And I really want to not have post-it notes everywhere. Also because I do travel for work sometimes, I want to be able to take some of the notes with me. And lately I've literally taken the physical post-it note. I don't want to do that. I feel like this would be so much easier to take. So I am hopefully actually going to try taking some notes in my little notebook related to work today. And then I am traveling for work, and hopefully that'll be fine. I don't know. Hopefully this will help me and help with my organization. I usually type notes on my computer too, but sometimes my boss will call me and I'm not necessarily by my computer. So I'll like take notes on my phone or something like that. I think this is going to be really fun to see what else I can do with the Kindle besides reading, especially because this was a $200 investment. And luckily it was only $200 because of Prime Day and because we found a 15% coupon. I feel like I want to try to invest as much time as I guess $200 is worth. Hopefully this will go well, and we'll see how the note-taking feature also helps. And I do want to try annotating books, and I want to try all the features of the Kindle Scribe during this time frame, but not 100% sure if I'll get to all of them. But so far, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I know people are going to say this is really big. Just for a size comparison, this isn't my personal phone, this is my work phone, but just in terms of the size comparison of how big the Kindle is compared to a phone, and I was reading on such a small phone before, I am excited to have a bigger version to read books on. So we'll see how day 2 goes. Okay, so I'm trying to take notes on the Kindle here, and I think this is gonna have to be something that I like Google or whatnot, because I don't have the neatest handwriting just in general. And when writing on the Kindle Scribe, I mean, I think you can see it from here. So when my pen is this far away, I mean, it's like I can put a whole finger underneath this. It's already writing. And like, I don't write in cursive, you know? I feel like most of us don't. And I don't want to have to dramatically lift my pen in between each word. I think that's going to have to be something that I Google to try to figure out. I feel like there has to be some way to work the sensitivity between the pen and the Kindle, but I'm not 100% sure. That is something I'm probably gonna have to look up, because there's no way that I can lift my pen so high every time between every letter. I mean, I don't do that when naturally writing. I feel like this is the first quirk that I've seen so far, so I definitely want to keep that in mind. All right, so it is day 3 with the Kindle. I am really enjoying it so far. I'm about 28% of the way through Hellfinder. I feel like I see those little TikToks all the time where it talks about how much faster you read on a Kindle versus a physical book. And right now I feel like that's pretty true. I definitely feel like I am reading on my Kindle faster than my current physical read, but I like my Kindle read more than my physical read right now. It's going to be interesting if I get some type of Kindle book that I'm not as into. I also really like having the cover of whatever book I'm reading on my Kindle. I don't usually have covers that I'm too uncomfortable with, so I think I'm gonna leave that feature on. In terms of any other like questions that I had about the Kindle, like writing with it, I haven't looked those up yet, but I want to look them up one day later this week. It's only Tuesday, but I feel like it should be Friday tomorrow. I've just had a really crazy work week, so I really want to focus on reading and relaxing. So that's kind of my plan. I wish at some point I had, in one of my prior readathons, and maybe I did and I'm not remembering, I wish I had recorded how fast I read on my phone versus how fast I'm reading on my Kindle. Because being 28% of the way through an ebook on my Kindle, in like, technically I've really read it for, 2 days at this point, even though it's day 3, but being 28% of the way through, I feel like is pretty good for me. I don't know how this would have gone reading this book on my phone. I also did find out, and I'm not sure if I talked about this, but I guess we just still don't have page numbers, and right now I am on like LOC 1000 out of like 3500. So again, about that 28%. I don't know why it's different, but oh well. I am really enjoying Hellfinder, and I just plan to keep reading arcs. Eventually I'm going to get into more like Kindle Unlimited and whatnot, but I really want to clear out my arcs before I do that. And I'm actually pretty hopeful now with the Kindle that I can finish my arcs before August, like I'm supposed to for 2 of them. Wasn't expecting that, and I am getting another one from a friend. So the Kindle has come at a very good time. Later in this week, I'm thinking, because I was debating doing it today or tomorrow, but I really want to focus on reading. I want to write down all my questions and see what I can find in terms of actually using it. Again, I didn't read the directions before I picked up this Kindle, so that's on me. We're gonna see how much I can read tonight. I feel like the past 2 times I've sat down to read, I've only really had like 30-ish minutes, and today I definitely want to spend a little bit more time reading, so we'll see how much farther I get into Hellfinder. I also did post about getting a Kindle on my other social media, and somebody else said that the Scribe was the favorite of all of their Kindles, so that's really exciting because I am loving it, but you never know how you're gonna feel about stuff down the road, so it's nice to see that other people really like the Scribe as well. As long as I can figure out the writing deal, I feel like it's just gonna get even better. We are wrapping up day 3 with the Kindle, and I thought I would talk about battery power. You can see it's at 96%, and I charged this really yesterday. I did most of the charging for my Kindle yesterday, and I mean, when it's locked, there is still just the screen with the book cover on it, so I guess that doesn't take up any battery, because now today I think I've read like, I don't know, an hour and 15 minutes. I feel like the battery life then is pretty good so far. I know that over time, you know, it'll depreciate or whatnot, but starting out strong with 96% and reading quite a bit, because today I started with my book. I was 28% completed with the book because, again, with NetGalley, it has that weird LOC deal, and then I'm stopping the book at 60%. So I've read 32% of the book, and I've only used 4% of my battery power to read that. So I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like I am having a really enjoyable experience with the Kindle overall, and I'm excited to get just like some of my questions answered. I was talking to my friend about Kindle Unlimited because when you get a Kindle, you have a free 3-month trial, and she said that you're able to keep 20 books at a time. So I might just, I don't know, look and see about picking some Kindle Unlimited books and just, you know, kind of seeing how that goes, making a little TBR, because Kindle Unlimited is $11.99 a month, and I just don't know, between Libby, being able to rent library books, and doing the Prime First deals and whatnot, if I will keep Kindle Unlimited. I'm guessing that's going to be, you know, a later video, but I'm trying to, you know, just gauge all my initial thoughts. I definitely think the 3-month free trial is really nice, and that'll give me, you know, hopefully enough time to try it, because I should finish all of my arcs by then. But I do feel like I'm reading faster. However, I will say I do still feel like I'm less engaged on the Kindle than reading a physical book. It is nice not having a clock on the Kindle so that I'm really able to just focus on reading. And I don't know if it's just the mood that I'm in right now or what, but I just feel like I'm having a harder time reading for sustained periods of time. But I don't know if that's just because I'm getting used to a new piece of technology or I have a lot of other stuff on my mind. I'm not sure. But yeah, Kindle Scribe so far, pretty good. And I feel like we got a pretty good deal on it too, so I'm pretty happy. And we'll continue on to day 4. Okay, day 4 update with the Kindle Scribe. I pretty much left it on its lock screen the entire day, so just like this, and it only went down 1% in battery. So that's pretty good in my opinion. And now I'm in kind of like an interesting predicament, because I was thinking about some of the clips I've recorded and being like, am I reading faster on the Kindle? I feel like I am, but I decided I'm gonna pull out my current physical read, which is Kingdom of the Curse, which I was very skeptical. I decided to pull out my current read, which is Kingdom of the Curse, and I just did the calculations, and I'm 56% of the way through Kingdom of the Cursed, and I believe I'm 60% of the way through Hellfinder. So I'm in very similar places of the books where I feel like, right, bigger things are happening. And yes, I believe Hellfinder is shorter than Kingdom of the Cursed, but I figure I can still just see like percentages of getting through the book, and I can see, you know, again, how fast I'm reading that way. I think what I'll try to do too is I want to look up how long Hellfinder is in like traditional book pages, and then I can figure out, right, try to do as fair of a comparison between the two. Or honestly, it could just be the number of pages that I read. That would be a little harder for Hellfinder, so that's why I'm gonna try to do percentages, but I want to really see, you know, reading speed. So I usually don't go to sleep for another like 3 hours, so I figure I have about 2 hours of comparative reading that I can do where I'll be like the same amount of awakeness, pretty alert. The one factor I feel like against the physical book is I lost my glasses on a flight because I forgot to take them out of the little seat holder in front of you. I forgot to take them out of there. And I filed a lost item report, but I haven't heard anything. So this is gonna be honestly my first time reading without glasses, and I don't know how that's gonna feel. But what I can tell you is that the Kindle doesn't really mess with my eyes that much, which I feel like is really good. So we're gonna see how that goes, and I'll just compare, again, percentages, pages. I should be able to work out some type of fair comparison between the two for reading an hour each. And that's something that I really want to do today for day 4, because at some point, either tomorrow, maybe day 6 of this is when I want to sit down and answer some of the questions I have about the Kindle Scribe. But I also do want to do this fun little, mini experiment in the middle of the video. So I will check back with you in about like 2-ish hours, and we'll see what I read more of. In that hour, I read 53 pages. Obviously, the physical book is heavier than the Kindle, but I learned right now I'm technically on page like 171 of my Kindle book, so we're gonna see if I read more than 53 pages. I do think Hellfinder is for a younger audience than Kingdom of the Cursed is, but I'll still be curious to see if if in this hour I do read more on my Kindle, 2, how I'm feeling, because my eyes are definitely tired after reading an hour of physical book without glasses. And then I also just want to see, what percentage that I'm at. So that'll be really curious because, I haven't really gotten farther percentage-wise in Kingdom of the Cursed, but I feel like 50 pages in Hellfinder, since it's only 286 pages versus 50 pages in a 433-page book, would make definitely a bigger difference. So on to the hour of reading our Kindle. Alrighty, so I finished my hour of Hellfinder. Just wanted to say too that I read it for an hour and it only took 2% away from the battery life. So I can definitely see why people really like it for that reason. Obviously better than like a phone for reading. I feel like my battery life would always drain pretty fast when I was reading. And then in terms of how far I got compared to the book, so Hellfinder is 268 pages. I went from 60% to 84%. So I did 268 pages divided by 100. So 2.68 pages is 1% of the book. I multiplied that by 24, got about 63 pages, 64, I believe. I'm not remembering the math correctly, but that was at least 10 pages longer than with Kingdom of the Wick. But that was 10 pages more than reading Kingdom of the Curse. And I feel like I was pretty engaged in both books. So long term, I feel like I can read the Kindle faster, but I still obviously really enjoy physical books. So I think that was good to know that maybe I do actually read faster on a Kindle, or I know that some of the Kindle pages, at least on my end, were pretty short, but I don't know how that exactly translates into the 268 pages of a physical version of Hellfinder. So not 100% sure there, but I was pretty interested to see that I did read faster, and I read Hellfinder second. So I'd already done a whole hour of reading, and I know I slow down with reading after a certain amount of time. So I thought that was a little interesting thing to do with day 4, and hopefully tomorrow, if I get at least an hour to read, I only have 16% of the book left, so I can probably finish it tomorrow, which would be so exciting to actually finish my first Kindle book during the first week of having a Kindle. So that feels like it's pretty exciting. And then again, eventually I want to go back to the little writing on there and see, because I feel like if you're gonna get the Kindle Scribe, right, you should do some writing on it. So I do want to figure that out. I also haven't annotated anything in a book, mainly because I've been reading ARCs and I know those aren't going to be something that stay in there forever. But I do want to, try all of the features as much as I can during this whole week of playing with the Kindle. But still really liking it so far. I still like physical books and audiobooks, so it's not like this is taking me away from anything like that. I feel like I like all 3 forms of reading books now, whereas before I kind of shied away from ebooks because I had to read on my phone. But that's just my opinion. So on to day 5 tomorrow. Okay, hopefully this is going to be a really exciting day 5 for a Kindle, because I should be finishing Hellfinder today, and that'll be the first book that I officially finished on my Kindle, which is very exciting. And then my next book is going to be Unexpecting, which I haven't downloaded on my Kindle yet, because for my NetGalley ARCs, I don't like to download them early because they usually only have like a limit on them, at least on the NetGalley app. I don't know if that's the same on the Kindle, but I don't want to take any chances. I don't like to download my NetGalley ARCs early because on my phone, on the NetGalley app, they usually give me like a day limit for how long, like 50 days or something like that. So I don't like to start them too early. I don't know if that's the same on the Kindle. That'll have to be something I look at. maybe tomorrow or day 7 when we answer some questions that we've been getting about the Kindle. But I'm really excited to hopefully finish that book and start my next arc, Unexpecting. And then after I finish Unexpecting, get to the 2 books that I already have from Amazon's First Reads. And I do have other arcs, but they're not due for a little bit longer. So I want to see if there is a big difference between reading an arc versus a book that actually came straight from Kindle. So I don't know if I'll get to that necessarily in this video, but that is some overall goals that I have. Still really enjoying it. Again, the battery life on this thing to me is just blowing my mind. It's still at above 90%. It's at 93%. So I feel like that lasts quite a long time to not charge it. When I got it in the mail, it was at like 50%. So that's why I charged it, but I was not expecting the battery percentage to last that long. I don't know if it's because of the way I have my Kindle set up or what. I don't know if that's a really common thing, but at least with the Scribe, at least this early on, the battery life is pretty superb. So let's get to finishing Hellfinder. All right, so finished Hellfinder. I thought it was really good. I know it's definitely for a younger audience, but I still enjoyed it. And there has to be a book 2 just based off of how it ended, but I don't know. I feel like some books are meant to have second books and then they just don't. I don't know. So I'm definitely curious once it comes out if a second book will be announced, if that's what the author's waiting for, or maybe if I haven't researched enough, I'm not 100% sure. Now I think is kind of something. So now I'm reading Unexpecting and I'm putting the cover next to me because the way it looks on my Kindle, I think it's very interesting. So because it's an arc, I guess not all of the arc's covers will move over. So this is what the background of my Kindle is gonna look like while I'm reading Unexpecting. And Unexpecting is more of a YA contemporary novel. It's actually really interesting. I'm only 5% in, but our main character named Ben had come out to his parents 2 months ago from when the book is taking place as gay. And the book opens with him sitting down with his parents to explain that he got one of his friends pregnant, right? So there's a stepfather figure in the book and the stepfather's like, wait, how does that happen? Like, aren't you gay? Like, what happened? So it was definitely an interesting premise to start the story. So this is more of a YA contemporary LGBTQ novel, which I still think is interesting, but it definitely has a different pacing, I feel like, than the fantasy, because the fantasy novel for Hellfinder started off a little bit lighter, whereas this obviously started off a lot more serious. So it's going to be interesting to see the pacing of reading that, but I feel pretty good about how much I've read on my Kindle so far. I might read a bit later. I feel like that's the nice thing with this, is that I am able to just carry it around with me, at least in my home. I don't know how much I actually want to bring it out and about with me, just because, as I said earlier, like, I lost my glasses on a plane. I don't want anything to happen to my Kindle. So not sure if I'm going to bring it out and about with me, but I am glad that at least around my house, I can bring it around and do whatever. So I am excited to keep reading Unexpecting, and then I'm hoping either tomorrow for day 6 or Saturday for day 7, we're going to answer some questions about writing in the Kindle and seeing how it goes. Still having really good battery life. Overall, I am really enjoying it, and this definitely feels like I'm going to be able to read through ebook arcs faster than I was reading. I mean, this month I've already read 2 ebook arcs. This could be my 3rd. I think I've only done that one other month. I don't fully remember, but I definitely feel like this is a lot easier on my eyes to read on the big Kindle Scribe screen than on my little phone screen. So we'll see if I read any more today. And so that's my little mid-afternoon Kindle update for day 5. And like I said, I don't really know if I'm going to read later. We'll see. It's day 7 with our Kindle. I put the Hellfinder cover back on because I was doing a review of it. And it is our day to now ask some questions to good old Google that I have regarding the Kindle Scribe. Yesterday for day 6, I didn't do anything. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, this for whatever reason is just like a crazy week for work, and I just did not have time trying to catch up on everything. You know, you might hear some laundry going in the background, but I am really trying to explore this Kindle today now that I can finally sit down and have some time. So my first question that I'm going to have is, does the screen of the Kindle Scribe ever shut off? Okay, because I really don't know at all. Okay, so there is some articles that look like there's a tech review. Okay, there's an article with 14 tips and tricks, and let's see if that answers my questions at all. Am I gonna read every single thing? Absolutely not. Am I gonna watch these videos? Maybe later, but I'm not gonna watch it now. My dog is also barking, so we are having just like a really fun day of all the extra noise, and that's okay, not a huge deal. I don't really care about erasing. I don't really care about any of that. Changing my pen, nope, I don't care. Adding a sit, I could care less. Nope. Change my notebook style. Organize my notebooks. Schedule warm, nope. Should I care about these? I don't really know. Okay, well, that was not helpful. Okay, maybe this Kindle Scribe FAQ will help me. Maybe I'm having some of the frequently asked questions. So let's see. It says makes it easy to read and write. I really don't think it makes it easy to write, but that doesn't matter. We will find out. Handwritten writing. I just want to know if the screen ever shuts off. Oh my goodness. Why is this so difficult? Okay. Well, it's Reddit. Let's see. That's nothing. Really interested in the Kindle Scribe. I like to keep my notebooks open. It's a big reason. Why am I having such a hard time? The user manual that I didn't read. Do we think that'll help us? The controls, don't really care. Keyboard, network, did all that. I do have a pen. I don't have the premium pen. We just have the regular pen. Voice view screen. That could be interesting. Okay, let's actually stop there. I'm curious about that. So it looks like I could pair an audio device because sometimes I really like audiobooks and maybe that would be nice to hear the Kindle read to me. That might be something that maybe I can try, but I don't really care right now because what I care about is if the screen shuts off. I'm gonna guess that the screen doesn't shut off then. If all we're getting is all these other questions, yeah, I don't think the screen shuts off. Okay, we're gonna do pen sensitivity on Kindle Scribe. Let's see what comes up for that. Kindle Scribe update including pen sensitivity. Let's, maybe maybe because it's a new pen, maybe I can't do anything different regarding it. Let's go to this first forum that I scrolled by. New pens. It includes pen sensitivity. Okay. Maybe we're gonna go to this Amazon released and it'll tell me. Okay, so let's try some of this out. So as we can see, there's different pens. Let's see if I have that because I don't even know if I have that at all. We're just gonna start a whole new little notebook deal here and we're just gonna call it test. That's what I'll call it. See, because I feel like I have to still type down pretty hard to type. Okay. For whatever reason, and I've done this before, where it's like that far above, maybe maybe it's listening to me. When I opened the new notebook in order to write, like it's not writing anymore until I press down. So I wonder if maybe I did change the sensitivity. I do see the settings. So was something weird just happening that one day? Because now it's working fine. I'm gonna feel so silly for doing all this research. All right, let's go back to the original journal where I was having so many issues and see if there is a difference in them. Yeah, see? It's not doing it anymore. Well, this whole portion was a little silly then in relation to all of that. So maybe I was just doing something weird on that day too. Maybe because I've used it more. Maybe it's learned how much pressure. I don't actually know, but it looks like it's not a problem anymore, which is good. And those were pretty much my two main questions about the Kindle Scribe so far. I do think that Bluetooth is really interesting. Let's try Bluetooth connection to Kindle Scribe. I think this could be really interesting, especially if it would read your Kindle books to you and then it almost like turns them into audiobooks. I'm sure the voice isn't very good, but this will be something that I feel like I want to at least bookmark and come back to. Okay, well after that research, now I feel like a little silly goober because now it's working fine. Don't really know. I guess it is good to know about the different pen settings that the Kindle Scribe has in case you have preferences about that. So I haven't done as much reading as I thought I would. So I was editing this video and I saw myself say that when I would read books on my phone, I would usually stop at about 5% whenever I first started an arc. I don't know why I'm like that, but for Unexpecting, I am exactly at 5%. So maybe that's just my average way to handle arcs or reading books online. I'm not 100% sure. Again, we're gonna go back to reading some of Unexpecting with obviously the title page like that. I'll do a final update tomorrow where I end up talking about, I think, how much I've read of Unexpecting from today. I don't have as much time. And tomorrow I'll kind of give my final thoughts as somebody new to a Kindle and if other options might have been better for me. I'm leaning towards no, but again, I'm gonna spend one more day kind of reading, playing around with it, and then I'll kind of give my final verdict tomorrow for our wrap up of our first week with a Kindle. We have reached the end of our first week with the Kindle. I will say I am enjoying it obviously more than my phone. I feel like if you are a big reader on your phone, I feel like a Kindle is definitely just better for your eyes. I think it can be a good investment. I think a Kindle shouldn't be a rash decision. I feel like if I had gotten this back in October, I wouldn't be as invested in reading it. So definitely make sure that that's your discretion. I don't know what happened with that writing feature yesterday. I tested it again today and the pen worked fine. So I don't know if it was just because it was new or whatnot, but I'm excited to now have something to take notes on too. I will say, because of the size, I do feel like an iPad kid in a sense, but at the same time, if you are looking for something that is bigger to read on, this makes sense. Maybe an iPad would work too, but I've had iPads in the past and this definitely feels lighter. I feel like the charge holds longer. It doesn't hurt my eyes as much. I think if you don't want one as big, but you're still an avid reader, I believe some of the smaller sizes would work, like the Paperwhite or even the Oasis, I think is a little smaller than this. But if you're looking for one that's big, I feel like this makes sense. I think for me, waiting until Prime Day was smart just because I feel like we got a really good deal on it. So I don't know if, that might be some type of recommendation or whatnot, but I feel like that was a pretty good deal for how much it was. So overall, I'm really liking it. I've not really done anything with Kindle Unlimited or exploring that at all. I think that's going to be something I look at in a future video, but because I have, again, a number of arcs to read, then I am focused on that before delving into the Kindle Unlimited world. And I am also a really big physical book reader and audiobook listener. So now I have my 3 forms of reading pretty much. And it's going to be interesting to see how to balance all of those. And especially because right now, Kindle Unlimited is the only one that has a cost for me, because I have a bunch of physical books that we've already spent money on that I haven't read yet, and then I only get my audiobooks through Libby. It'll be interesting to see. And then speaking of Libby, that is also something that I might look into with the Kindle, because I am lucky enough to have 2 library cards, one that I borrow from my mom and one that I have for myself connected to my Libby app. And so that is maybe something I'll look into, to having ebooks from Libby and maybe not even doing Kindle Unlimited. I feel like Kindle Unlimited could be really good if you read a lot mainly on your Kindle, but because I am so split between different mediums, I'm just not 100% sure yet. So keep an eye out for that future video, and if you have any other Kindle questions, let me know.